The day after he won, he bought a watch. Not because he loved watches. He told a reporter later he didn't even really know how to read it. He bought it because, in his head, that's what a rich man does. And in that one small, almost meaningless purchase, you can already see the whole tragedy about to unfold. He didn't buy what he wanted. He bought what he thought a wealthy person was supposed to want. He had the money of a rich man and the mind of the man he'd been the day before. And those two things were about to go to war. Within a few years, the money was gone. And the strangest part, the part that should bother you, because it has nothing to do with luck, is that almost everyone who studies this saw it coming. This is the thing nobody tells you about sudden money. We treat the lottery winner who goes broke as a cautionary tale about bad decisions, as if the lesson is manage your money better. But that's not the real lesson, and it's not even close to the most interesting one. Because if money management were the issue, you could fix it with a good accountant. And many of these people had accountants. They had lawyers, advisors, planners, an entire professional apparatus standing between them and ruin. And they walked through all of it. Straight off the cliff anyway, so the question isn't how do people lose that much money that fast? The question is much stranger than that. Why does a windfall so often destroy the exact person it was supposed to save? And the answer, once you see it, will change how you look at your own money, your own ambitions, and frankly your own character, even if you never buy a ticket in your life. Let me show you what's actually happening, because it's not what it looks like. When most people imagine winning, they imagine the money solving their problems. The debt, gone. The stress, gone. The fear, gone. And for a few weeks, sometimes it is. But here's what the research into sudden wealth keeps finding, over and over. The money doesn't erase who you were. It removes the one thing that was holding who you were in check. Scarcity. For most of human life, our worst tendencies are kept on a leash by simple lack of resources. The impulsive person can't be very impulsive on a tight budget. The insecure person can't buy that much reassurance. The people pleaser can only give away what little they have. Being broke is, for a lot of people, an accidental discipline. It's a cage. Yes, but the cage was also holding something in. Then the money arrives and the cage door swings open. And whatever was pacing inside finally gets to run. Watch how this works with the man and his watch. He wasn't reckless before he won he couldn't afford to be. The win didn't make him reckless. It revealed a recklessness that had simply never had room to express itself. The same is true of the winner who can't stop giving money to family. That impulse didn't appear with the check. That person was always the one who couldn't say no, who needed to be needed, who measured their worth by how much they did for others. They were like that at $30,000 a year. Nobody noticed, because at $30,000 a year, that trait just looked like being generous and a little soft. At 30 million, the same exact trait becomes a financial black hole that swallows everything. The money didn't change them. It just turned the volume all the way up on a song that was already playing. This is the part that should stop you, because here's where it stops being about lottery winners and starts being about you. You are running this same experiment right now, slowly, quietly, every single day. Every raise you've ever gotten was a tiny lottery win. A little more money flowing in. A little more room for who you really are to express itself. And if you're honest, you can probably already see the pattern in your own life. Did the raise get saved? Or did it get absorbed? Did more income make you more secure? Or did it just make your lifestyle more expensive while leaving you exactly as anxious as before? Because whatever you did with the small windfalls is almost certainly what you'd do with a large one. The lottery winner isn't a different species. The lottery winner is just you, fast-forwarded, with the volume turned up, with no time to adjust. And that's the cruelty of speed. A person who builds wealth slowly gets something the lottery winner never does time to become the kind of person who can hold it. Every year of slow building is a year of practice. You make a small money mistake, it costs you a little. You learn. You adjust. You get a little richer, you test what that does to your ego, you correct. By the time the bigger numbers arrive, you've been quietly rehearsing for them for a decade. Your character and your bank account grew up together. They're roughly the same age. They fit. The lottery winner's bank account is suddenly 40 years older than their financial character. And that mismatch is unbearable. Imagine a teenager handed the keys to a fortune they have no experience holding. The teenager isn't stupid. They're just not ready. Because readiness isn't something you can be given. It's something you have to grow into, one ordinary decision at a time. You cannot inject the wisdom that's supposed to come with wealth. It has to be earned on the way up, which is exactly why the way up matters so much more than the destination. There's a deeper layer here too, and it's the one almost nobody talks about. We assume the goal of money is to get to a place where you no longer have to exercise any discipline, where you've won and the striving stops. But what these stories reveal is the opposite. The discipline was never the obstacle to the wealth. The discipline was the wealth. The habits, the restraint, the judgment, the ability to want something and not buy it, the capacity to sit with uncertainty without panicking, those weren't the price you paid to get rich. Those were the actual riches. The number in the account was just a side effect of having become that kind of person, which means the lottery winner gets the side effect without the substance. They get the number without the self. And a number without a self has nothing to anchor it, nothing to defend it, nothing to grow it back when it's gone. So it drains, inevitably, back down to the level that matches the person, because money, strangely, seems to seek the level of the character holding it. Give a fortune to someone who hasn't built the internal structure to hold a fortune, and it leaks out through every crack in that structure until what's left matches what they were. And give modest means to someone with the structure of a wealthy person, the patience, the restraint, the judgment, and watch how often it quietly grows into something much larger than anyone expected. You've seen both versions of this in real life, even if you never put it in these words. The relative who somehow always has money trouble no matter how much they earn. And the unassuming person who never made much, but somehow ended up with more than anyone guessed. The number was never the cause. The number was always the result. So here's what the broke lottery winner is really showing us. And it's not a lesson about money management at all. It's a mirror. They are living proof that you cannot get rich in any way that lasts without first becoming the kind of person wealth can survive inside of. The external number will always, eventually, drift back toward the internal reality. You can win the money. You cannot win the character. That part is not for sale. Not in any lottery, not in any inheritance, not in any windfall. It can only be built slowly by the same boring decisions everyone has access to and almost nobody makes consistently. And that's strangely good news, if you really sit with it. Because it means the thing that actually matters, the part that determines whether money stays or goes, was never about luck at all. The lottery winner had the luck and lost everything. The person quietly building, day by day, has no luck and may end up with everything that the winner couldn't keep. The whole game was rigged, just not in the direction everyone assumes. It's not rigged toward the lucky. It's rigged toward the prepared. So maybe the real question was never, what would I do if I won? Maybe that question is a fantasy that lets us off the hook, because it makes wealth about an event that will probably never happen instead of about a person we could choose to become starting today. The better question, the one the broke lottery winner is practically begging you to ask, is quieter and much more uncomfortable. If the money showed up tomorrow, would it find someone ready to hold it, or would it just turn up the volume on exactly who you already are? You already know how to find out. You don't need a ticket. You just need to look honestly at what you do with the small wins you're already getting. Because that not the jackpot you're dreaming about is the truest test you'll ever take. And you're taking it right now, whether you meant to or not.